Alrighty guys, I hope everyone is having a great and wonderful day today. As always, you know, I really want to share a few things in this video that I believe I didn't really get to, which I really believe is also important right now in this day and age. I don't know if you guys have been noticing, but the energies lately have been super intense. I don't know if it's just me, I don't know if I'm the only one going through this, but I really want to mention to everyone that right now the energies are super intense. And here's what I really want to share with everyone. These are my personal thoughts of what I believe the energy is for me. I am now going into the 8th dimension level consciousness, if that makes sense. Now, if you guys, you know, were spiritually aware throughout 2012, 2014, there was a lot of talk about, you know, 4th and 5th dimensional thinking and dimensional consciousness, even 3rd, you know, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and, you know, there's even more than 8th. There's more than an 8th level, right, dimension that we can even encompass while we're here on Earth. There's way more than we could possibly think of. But I really want to share this with you guys because there's so much that's going on right now, and I personally believe that I am now moving forward into the 8th dimension level consciousness. Now, what does that mean, right? Because obviously I'm still here on Earth. Obviously I haven't disappeared. Obviously I'm still doing things and I'm still in this body. But what does really 8th dimensional living really mean, right? This 8th level dimension consciousness, okay? Now, since I've been working with Moldavite, obviously the changes have been speeding up a lot faster. You know, my consciousness has been clearing, and so it can develop into a higher level of consciousness. But what does it really mean, right? So what it means, guys, this is what I've personally been able to channel and intuitively just answer for myself. It means that I'm now living like in a different realm of consciousness, if that makes sense. Like, I'm still operating in this world, I'm still living in this world, but my reality, my inner shift, my inner world has shifted, right? It has shifted to a higher level where I'm now operating through a dreamlike state 24/7, right? It literally feels like I'm now just moving through this world in a dreamlike state where I know that everything is really just an illusion, where I'm really just here participating in this so-called matrix, so to speak. But at the end of the day, guys, I know what I need to be doing. I know that I'm still here, but I also live in heaven, if that makes sense. I really feel like I'm living in heaven right now, where I can channel that energy. I'm living it inside my head, inside my inner being. Even though I live in this world, I'm still living it inside of me, right? The kingdom of heaven is now inside me, and I can feel it and I can live it, so I don't have to be stressed out about everything that's happening in this world, because I know that everything is working out for my good. And so that's what I really can best describe the 8th dimension for me to be, right? It's literally bringing heaven on earth, living in heaven on earth while we're here. And that to me is the greatest feeling in the world, right? Where my perspective has shifted, my energy has shifted, priorities have shifted, everything has shifted to a new dimension where I literally feel like I'm in a dream now 24/7, right? And so working with Moldavite has definitely helped this process by so much, guys, like so much. And I'm actually kind of curious as to what level of consciousness you think you guys are on. And it doesn't matter where you're at, right? All that matters is that you're making progress and that you're working with Moldavite, because at the end of the day, guys, the more we continue to work with Moldavite, the more we're going to keep progressing. And there's so many different levels of consciousness. There's even 10, 12. I wouldn't even doubt that there's 20 and beyond, right? It's always infinite. And so I really want to pose this question to you guys. What level of consciousness do you think you're currently at right now working with Moldavite, and where do you think you'll be maybe in a few years from now, right? What level of consciousness, right? And like I said, it's not something that you experience externally, so to speak. Like, you could see it, like, oh my gosh, like I'm walking with this glow and this aura, this halo around my head, right? It's not, I mean, maybe one day it could be like that, but as of right now, it's more internal. The changes are happening internally, working with Moldavite and now experiencing the 8th dimension. I've noticed now that it's happening more internally. You know, I don't really, obviously there's some things that have changed externally that I've chosen to be in alignment with my inner self, but at the end of the day, guys, the inner shift first begins on the inside, and I notice it a lot in my crown chakra. I'm noticing it a lot, like, just everywhere. My energy is just shifting, and I'm super excited, and it has been somewhat painful. It's like growing, right? I don't know if you guys remember growing up when you guys had like a growth spurt. I don't know, but for me, my bones started hurting, right? My elbows and my knees, you know, everything just started hurting on me because I was growing. And that's kind of like what it feels like now. Like, yes, I'm growing in consciousness, and yes, there's certain things that hurt while I'm growing through this consciousness, guys. But at the end of the day, it's going to be worth it, right? It's going to be worth it. The new changes that come about, everything that happens. And so I'm really excited to see these changes. And I'm curious to see if anyone else has been experiencing this lately as well, working with Moldavite, that you just experience this higher level of dimension that you're living in now. And now, you know, through the Holy Spirit, I've confirmed it that it's the 8th dimension that I'm now moving into, and I'm super excited about that. And I really wanted to share that with everyone because I believe it's very, very important to see how this works, to see how it happens, and to keep pushing through, right? Because I really want to make a video of some of the physical ascension symptoms, so to speak, that I've been going through lately as well. Because like I said, when you're going through these changes, your body also has to adjust, you know, your mind has to adjust, your soul has to adjust. And so I would definitely want to keep posting that up, you know, especially working with Moldavite, how it purges everything out. And so you have to be conscious and you have to be aware of what's happening to you. Otherwise you might think you're going crazy, you might think you need to go to the doctor, you might think, you know, you need to do this and you need to do that, when you're really just going through ascension symptoms. And but if by any means you feel like you need to go to the doctor, by all means do so. But like I said, most of this is really just ascension symptoms. And so I definitely want to share more of this later on in my videos, guys. I really just felt compelled to share this with you guys today. I really do believe it's important, and I believe everyone should be aware of this. So thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. I send you guys so much love, and I will talk to you guys soon. Don't forget to thumbs up this video as well.